You gave her everything: your love, your time, your trust, even your hard-earned money. But she only took. She never loved you. She only pretended to. Wore the mask of affection just long enough to drain you dry. That's the game of greedy girls. They don't want your heart, they want your wallet. And once you're empty, they walk away without a second glance. In this video, we're exposing the dark truth behind the women who fake love and leave you broken. If you've ever felt used, lied to, or emotionally robbed, this one's for you. Make sure to subscribe to the channel right now, because no one else dares to say the things we do. The mask is coming off, and the truth is about to burn. What greedy girls really want: they don't want a relationship, they want benefits. When you love someone, they quickly become a very special part of your life. You're ready to dedicate your time, love, attention, everything you have. But sometimes, right from the start of a relationship, certain signs slip through that tell you a different story. You might be led to believe that you're meant for each other, that this relationship will be built on love, trust, and mutual respect. But if you take a closer look, you'll realize that the person standing beside you isn't interested in building a relationship. They're only interested in taking advantage of you. They don't love you, they just want something from you. It's a harsh reality, but some people come into relationships solely to use the other person. At first, they'll treat you with care, showing you how important you are in their life. They'll make you feel like you mean the world to them, but all the while, their hidden agenda is simply to take something from you. You might think, they love me, but in reality to them, you're nothing more than an opportunity to be exploited. You're just a tool, a means to an end. Sure, they may be sweet at first. They may give you attention, say the right things, and act like they're invested in your life. But all of that is part of a game. They know that the more you pour your love and attention into them, the easier it will be to manipulate you into giving them what they want. But once you've given them everything, your time, your energy, your money, they'll pull away because they no longer need you. They've used you, and once they're done, they'll walk away without a second thought. For them, relationships don't have a solid foundation. They'll never put in the effort to build something meaningful or to support you in the way a true partner should. Instead, they'll use you to get what they want, then leave when there's nothing more to gain. They'll never give anything in return. They only want what they can get from you. These individuals are never truly invested in building a strong bond. Their goal is simple. They just want to take advantage of you. When they realize they've drained all they can from you, they'll disappear without a word. You'll feel like you've invested your heart and soul into someone who was never truly there for you. Instead, they were only there for what you could offer them. At first, they'll make you feel like the most important person in the world. They'll tell you how special you are, how they've never met anyone like you, but it's all part of their plan. Their real objective is to extract whatever they can from you. Once they have what they need, be it emotional support, financial help, or any other benefit, they'll discard you like yesterday's news. The truth is, they don't care about your love or your well-being. They only care about what you can give them. Whether it's your time, your energy, your money, or your body, they'll take it all without hesitation. And when they're done using you, they'll leave without a second glance, as if you never mattered. You were never special to them. You were just a means to an end. The most painful part is that in the process, they'll destroy your self-worth, your confidence, and your emotional well-being. They'll use your love and trust against you, playing with your emotions while they take everything you have. And once you're drained, once you've given all you can, they'll walk away, leaving you feeling empty and worthless. You'll look back and you'll realize that they were never truly there for you. They never loved you. They never wanted a real relationship. They just wanted to take. They wanted your resources, your love, and your time. And once they had it, they disappeared. They don't love you. They'll drain you and walk away. Now you understand, this wasn't a relationship at all, but an exploitative game. The more you believe they love you, the more they take. Their only objective was never love, but gaining benefits. So if you find yourself in a relationship where it feels like you're being used, don't wait for things to get worse. Realize the truth and walk away before they take everything from you. When you truly love someone, there's an unspoken promise between you two. You're ready to give everything. You want to give them your love, your time, and your energy because you believe the relationship is mutual. But here's the question. While you're giving everything, are they giving anything back? Or are they just taking and taking? You're always giving, she's always taking. This is the story of a relationship where you're constantly giving, but nothing ever comes back to you. You do everything for her, make her happy, give her your time, yet in return, you receive nothing. You pour all your love and energy into her, and yet she just takes it and walks away, leaving you drained and empty. It's a one-sided game where you believe you're giving love, but what's really happening is you're just giving away your peace, your energy, and your happiness. She takes what you offer, but never once considers giving back. This is the harsh reality of some relationships, where love becomes a business transaction. You give, she takes, and the cycle continues. But here's the thing, the longer you stay in this kind of relationship, the more you're left with nothing. She takes your time, your efforts, and in the end, you're left alone, wondering why you never received anything in return. Love as a business. Have you ever wondered why some people treat relationships like a business? In this kind of relationship, one person is always giving, and the other is always taking. You think you're giving love, but you're actually providing a service, pouring into someone who's just there to take from you. And all along, you think you're building something beautiful, but in reality, you're just getting used. It's heartbreaking because when you love someone, you expect them to value your time, your energy, and your heart. But when you're in this kind of relationship, you start to see the pattern. You're giving, but you're not getting anything in return. And the more you give, the emptier you become. This is the reality of some relationships, and it's painful to acknowledge. When you realize you're in this cycle, it's important to wake up and understand that love shouldn't be a one-sided transaction. You shouldn't be the only one giving while the other person just takes. Stoic philosophy: give only what you can afford to lose. There's a Stoic principle that says, give only what you can afford to lose. This means that in relationships, you should give only what you're prepared to lose without it affecting your peace or happiness. Love isn't about draining yourself dry for someone who doesn't give back. When you love someone, you want to give them your best, but you also need to be realistic. If you give everything, your heart, your time, your money, and get nothing in return, then you're the one losing. Stoic philosophy teaches us that balance is key. You should be willing to give, but never to the point where you lose yourself in the process. If you give more than you can afford to lose, eventually you'll find yourself empty and worn out. And that's not true love. True love should be mutual, and both people should be giving equally to each other. If one person is taking constantly, then it's no longer love, it's exploitation. You're always the one making the effort. You give her your time, your support, your love, and yet she doesn't reciprocate. She's always taking, but never giving anything back. And this isn't an accident. It's the nature of the relationship. She takes from you because you allow it. You want to believe she's just busy or doesn't know how to express her feelings, but deep down, you know the truth. She's using you. This type of relationship isn't healthy. It's one-sided. It's all about what you can give, and there's no room for your needs or feelings. You keep pouring into her, but she's not filling you up in return. Instead, she's draining you of your energy, your confidence, and your sense of self-worth. And by the time you realize it, you're left with nothing. This is the danger of one-sided love. It slowly eats away at your self-esteem and emotional well-being. You become so focused on giving to her that you forget about your own needs and desires. But at some point, you have to stop and ask, is this really love, or is this just manipulation? The impact of such relationships. Being in this kind of relationship can have a deep impact on you, both emotionally and mentally. You start to question yourself. You wonder why you've given so much and still have nothing to show for it. It can make you feel worthless and unappreciated. The problem is, when you give and give and give, and the other person takes and takes, you end up feeling like you're losing yourself. It's not just about giving material things or money. It's about giving your time, your energy, and your love. When you're in a relationship where only one person is giving, eventually you start to feel like a tool, something to be used until it's no longer needed. The sad truth is that some people enter relationships not to build something meaningful, but simply to take from others. They don't care about your happiness, your well-being, or your peace. All they care about is what they can get from you, and once they've taken enough, they move on without a second thought. Realizing the truth. Self-worth and healing. The most important lesson here is realizing your own worth. You deserve a relationship where both parties give and take equally. You deserve love that builds you up, not drains you. And if you find yourself in a relationship where you're the only one giving, it's time to take a step back and reassess. True love doesn't empty you, it fills you. If you're with someone who constantly takes and never gives, it's time to let go. Relationships should be about mutual respect, care, and effort. If you're not receiving that, then it's time to walk away. Start valuing yourself more. Don't give your heart, your time, or your energy to someone who isn't willing to invest in you too. Love should never feel like a transaction. It should be a partnership where both people are equally invested. Protect your peace and self-worth. Love is meant to be mutual. It's not about giving until you're empty. It's about growing together, supporting each other, and building a life full of love and happiness. But if you're always the one giving and never receiving, it's time to stop and reflect. Take a step back, protect your peace, and remember, you're worthy of love that lifts you up, not drains you. Don't settle for anything less. Emotional manipulation and guilt traps. They don't love you. They only take. They suck out your emotions, your trust, your dreams, and ultimately your self-worth. Before you even realize it, you're standing before someone stripped of your identity, drained and exhausted. They say, "I love you," but they never show any real proof of it. They just demand your time, your money, your energy, your soul. They don't want a relationship, they want benefits. And to get those benefits, they use a dangerous weapon, emotional manipulation. When you love someone, you want to believe. You look into their eyes and think, they would never hurt me. This very belief is your greatest vulnerability. A manipulative person targets this belief and strikes. It starts with small emotional phrases. "I'm nothing without you. My life is dark without you. If you truly love me, then do this for me." Hearing this, an emotional bond forms inside you. You think, they love me this much. You start prioritizing them, forgetting your own needs. But over time, your world starts shrinking. You can't laugh freely, think clearly, or make decisions independently. The most dangerous aspect of emotional manipulation is that it breaks you down slowly and you don't even realize it. It's a mental poison that destroys your confidence while pretending to care. They'll say, "If you love me, do this for me." This is a trap. The words sound sweet, but behind them lies a cruel mental oppression. It's their most common tactic, because they know you love them, and they'll leverage that love to control you. Today, a bit of money. Tomorrow, time. The day after, a major sacrifice. Slowly, you reach a point where all you're doing is giving, but receiving nothing in return. They know when to strike at your weak spots. They know what will make you feel guilty. They deliberately create situations where you think, "If I don't do this, they will be hurt. They might leave me. I have to prove my love." But these thoughts ultimately turn you into their mental servant. They instill fear, not directly, but through their expressions, tone of voice, or by suddenly going silent. You think, "They're hurt, I have to make it right." Slowly, you take on the responsibility of managing their mood. You don't realize it, but you're trapped in an emotional prison. They keep creating an environment where you lose your logical reasoning. No matter how much you do, they'll say, "You don't do enough. You've changed. You're not the same anymore." They keep you in a state of constant turmoil, so you're always trying to please them. And that's their true purpose, to control you. The scariest part of such a relationship is that you don't even realize you're being abused, because it's all happening in the name of love. But if love creates such mental pressure, it isn't love, it's exploitation. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism doesn't mean being emotionless. Stoicism teaches you how to understand and control your emotions. A Stoic person knows when to stop, when to say no, when to maintain their dignity. If you can become Stoic, you'll realize true love never demands, it gives. If someone loves you, they will never ask you to prove yourself. They want you to love yourself and respect yourself. The first step in Stoicism is understanding your fear. You fear being alone, you fear losing them, you fear that if they leave, you'll break down. These fears are making you give everything. But the truth is, if someone leaves, your life doesn't stop. Life moves on, perhaps with pain, but with your self-respect intact. The second step is questioning your emotions. Why are you holding on to this relationship? Because you love them, or because you fear being alone? If the answer is the latter, then this isn't love, it's attachment. And Stoicism teaches you to break free from attachment. The third step is setting boundaries. How much can you give? How much can you endure? If you have to constantly take on mental stress, if you have to sacrifice your self-esteem every day, then that relationship is not healthy. The fourth step is learning to say no. Many people think saying no will break the relationship. But if you can't say no, it's not a relationship. A healthy relationship is based on mutual respect and understanding. Being Stoic means learning to love yourself. It means knowing your worth. If someone truly loves you, they will not treat you like a doormat. They will value your dignity. If they don't, then they don't love you. When someone doesn't love you, they want control. They want you to follow their whims. They use your love as leverage to trap you in a cage from which you cannot escape, because you love them. But remember, if love doesn't give you freedom, if it drains you, then it's toxic. If you feel that you're in such a relationship where you're giving everything and receiving nothing, stop today. Ask yourself, why am I tolerating this? What am I gaining? What am I losing? If the answer is, I'm suffering, I'm losing myself, I'm breaking down every day, then get out. Be Stoic. It will be hard, but it's possible. You are as valuable as anyone else, and if you don't realize your worth, no one else will. Don't let yourself be broken. Don't let anyone decide your value. If love comes, you'll know it, because it won't pressurize you. It will give, not take. You deserve love, but not from someone who wants to make you their servant. They don't love you, they just want. And if you don't love yourself, they will drain you completely. So make a decision today. You will no longer be a slave to your emotions. You will be the one who understands your emotions, but will not let them destroy you. This is Stoicism, and this is freedom. You're never enough. There's a harsh truth that most people don't realize until it's too late. It's the story of a relationship where you give everything, your love, your time, your trust, even your hard-earned money, but it's never enough. No matter how much you give, there's always a more attitude. That's the mindset of a greedy person. They don't want your heart, they want everything you have. And when you've got nothing left to give, they'll walk away, leaving you empty. This isn't a fairy tale. This is the reality for many who find themselves in toxic relationships, where their love is used as a means to an end. They'll wear a mask of affection to make you believe you're loved. But the truth is, their goal was never to love you. It was to use you, take from you, and then leave you broken. No matter how much you give, they'll always want more, and it's never enough for them. And when they've drained you dry, they'll simply walk away, leaving you with nothing. This is the game of greedy girls, or anyone who plays on your emotions and love to take advantage of you. They'll keep asking for more, keep wanting more, and when they've gotten everything they can, they'll vanish without a trace. All the while, you'll be left wondering why your love was never enough. The truth is, they weren't after your love. They were after your resources, your time, your money, your energy. Stoicism. True fulfillment comes from within. After going through such a draining experience, there's one thing you can learn: Stoicism. Stoicism teaches that true happiness doesn't come from external sources. It doesn't come from others, and it doesn't come from having more. It comes from within. The key to peace and happiness is not found in seeking validation or material gain, but in mastering your own emotions and desires. When you have nothing left to give, you realize you don't need anything to be content. This philosophy doesn't encourage detachment or apathy. It teaches self-sufficiency. It's not about denying desires or pleasures, but about finding peace within yourself, regardless of what the world throws at you. When you no longer seek to prove yourself to others, when you stop seeking validation in relationships or possessions, that's when you realize you are enough. After going through a relationship that has drained you, this is the perspective you need to adopt. The most valuable lesson is that no one can truly make you happy if you don't find happiness within yourself first. You can give everything to someone, but if they don't give back, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their inability to appreciate what you offer. Why are they never satisfied? Now, why is it that no matter how much you give, it's never enough for them? It's important to understand that this isn't about you, it's about them. The truth is, people like this are often driven by a deep internal emptiness. They seek external validation because they don't feel whole inside. No matter how much you give, they're not looking for love. They're looking for something to fill the void within themselves. They'll demand more, take more, and still not feel fulfilled. It's a vicious cycle, and you'll never be able to fill their void because it's endless. This is the nature of greed, whether it's for money, power, or love. They don't know how to appreciate what they have because they're always searching for the next thing, the next fix. And you, in the process, get left behind, drained and broken. The truth is that they'll never be satisfied, and it's not your fault. Their dissatisfaction is rooted in their own internal struggles. You can give all you want, but they'll always be looking for something more. This is the dangerous trap of relationships, where the other person is never content with what they have. And the moment you stop giving, or the moment you run out of resources to give, they'll leave, without any second thoughts. Can you ever be enough? At some point in these relationships, you might ask yourself, can I ever be enough? The sad reality is that the answer is no. You'll never be enough for someone who doesn't know how to be satisfied. For someone who is driven by greed, love is never the end goal. They are after what you have, and they'll take everything until there's nothing left. It's a hard truth to swallow, but it's necessary for your growth. As long as you're seeking to prove yourself in these toxic relationships, you'll continue to give and still end up feeling empty. That's because these people don't love you. They love what you can provide for them. You can give them your time, your energy, your money, but they'll always want more. And when they've drained you dry, they'll simply walk away, leaving you with nothing. This isn't love, it's exploitation. Who are you really? Once you've been through this kind of relationship, you'll eventually come to the realization that you are enough. Your value doesn't come from what you can give to others. It doesn't come from your ability to please or provide for someone else. It comes from within. True fulfillment comes from within. The moment you realize that you don't need anyone else's approval to feel good about yourself, your life will begin to change. You'll stop seeking validation in relationships, in possessions, or in people who never truly value you. And that's when you'll find peace. You'll stop being the person who feels empty because someone else is taking from you. Instead, you'll be the person who knows their own worth and doesn't need to prove it to anyone. True happiness comes from within. The more you seek it outside of yourself, the more you'll lose. This is the key lesson from every toxic relationship. When you stop chasing after validation from others, when you stop trying to prove that you're enough for someone else, you'll realize that you were always enough. You just needed to believe it yourself. In the end, you are enough. When you stop seeking to prove your worth, when you stop giving everything to someone who doesn't appreciate it, you'll find your true strength. You won't be left empty anymore. You won't be drained. Because you'll know that your happiness and your worth don't depend on anyone else. They depend on you. And when you realize that you are enough, you'll never allow someone to use you or take from you again. You'll understand that real love isn't about giving everything to someone who isn't grateful. Real love is about mutual respect, shared growth, and understanding. But most importantly, real love starts with respecting yourself. So, remember this: you are enough, and no one can ever take that away from you. She's not loyal, she's opportunistic. Sometimes people come into our lives who seem to make everything better, but in reality, many of them are only there for what they can get from us. Their love and compassion are often just a facade, a performance to serve their own interests. They are never truly there for us. They're there for their own benefit. The moment they see an opportunity, they take it. They offer us their presence when we are weak, vulnerable, and desperate. But once we start to regain our strength, they vanish. This is the truth about opportunistic people. These individuals stay in our lives only when they stand to gain something. When we're at our lowest, they give us false hope, pretending to care, but their real intention is to use us. They may promise loyalty, but they're actually looking for any chance to take advantage of us. And when we no longer have anything left to offer, they walk away without a second thought. It's easy to get caught up in the illusion they create. They pretend to love us, pretend to care, but when we are no longer needed, they disappear like smoke in the air. They were never really there in the first place. Their connection to us was never about love. It was about opportunity. As soon as we realize this, we start to see through their act, and it becomes clear they were never really on our side. She won't stand by you in your tough times. We've all experienced moments when we felt utterly alone, and we thought someone in our life would be there for us. We believed that through the darkest times, they would stay. But when those tough moments came, they were nowhere to be found. They left, or worse, they were never truly there to begin with. People like this are only around when it benefits them. When we're vulnerable, they see it as an opportunity to latch onto us, to gain something from our weakness. But the moment we show strength, when we don't need them anymore, they vanish. It's a hard truth, but it's the reality of many relationships. They're not there because they care, they're there because there's something to gain. These people won't be there when things get rough. They will leave, or worse, they'll already be gone by the time you need them. They come when it's easy, when it's comfortable for them, but the moment you stop depending on them, they're out the door. It's a painful lesson, but one that's necessary to learn, that the ones who aren't there in your hardest times were never really there at all. They were just waiting for the right time to walk away. The one who leaves was never really yours. It's a bitter reality that some people we thought we could count on, who we believed would always stand by us, end up leaving when we need them most. We often hold on to the hope that someone will stay, that they will love us through thick and thin, but eventually they prove us wrong. When someone leaves, it's important to realize that they were never truly yours. They were never really invested in your life. They were just there for the moments when they could take something. They never gave you the love, the support, or the trust that you thought they would. When they leave, they take a part of you with them. But the painful truth is that they were never there in the first place. They were just a temporary fixture in your life. And that's something we need to understand, that the people who leave when we need them most were never truly part of our journey. They were never part of our life's story. They were just a chapter, and once that chapter is over, it's time to let go. Stoic philosophy: let go of what you can't control. The Stoic philosophy teaches us one valuable lesson. Don't hold on to what you can't control. We can't control how people behave, how they treat us, or whether they stay or leave. But we can control how we respond. We can control whether we continue to let them affect us, or whether we let go and move forward. Often, we get caught up in trying to change things we have no power over. We hold on to relationships, people, and situations that drain us, but we can't change them. And that's where the pain lies, in trying to force something to be different than it is. The Stoics teach us that true peace comes when we let go of the things we can't control. When it comes to relationships, this means accepting the fact that some people are just not meant to be in our lives for the long haul. They come when they need us, but they leave when they no longer benefit from us. The Stoics remind us that we can't change this. What we can change is our perspective. We can choose to let go of the hurt and stop holding on to people who aren't truly meant for us. Letting go is never easy, but it's the only way to free ourselves from the pain and confusion that these relationships bring. The Stoics would tell us to accept it, learn from it, and move forward. Because in the end, we can't control other people's actions, but we can control our own. And that's where our peace lies, in letting go of what we can't control and moving forward with strength and clarity. Regain your power. When you enter a relationship, you offer everything: your love, your time, your trust, even your hard-earned money. At first, everything seems so beautiful, like your world has become vibrant and alive again. But what do you know? When you give yourself completely, that other person simply takes. When you've given them every piece of your heart, they find nothing valuable in you and start playing with your emotions. After a while, they leave, emptying you out without a second glance. If you ever find yourself in this situation, the question is, how do you regain your power? Become a Stoic. No matter how much pain you've endured, there's no shame in it. Your pain is real, and it means something. But now, you need to realize you cannot let that pain define you. The Stoic philosophy teaches that your greatest strength lies in your ability to control your emotions and reactions to life's circumstances. A Stoic doesn't try to control external events. They focus on how they respond to those events. The world will do what it does, but how you react is what matters. If you learn to love yourself, understand your worth, you will come out of the pain stronger. You have two paths in front of you. One, to sink further into the pain and keep suffering. The other, to take that pain, transform it into power, and regain your strength. Let your love belong to you first. You might have often believed that your love had to be given to someone else because you wanted them to feel special, to have a life with them. But here's the truth. Your love is yours first. You are entitled to it. When you keep your love for yourself first, giving it to others becomes even more fulfilling and complete. You need to give your love, your time, and your care to yourself before you can genuinely share it with someone else. Here's the most important part: learning to define your own love. When you truly love yourself, you will no longer expect others to validate it. Your love will become an internal source of power. You will never again be in a position where you are drained by someone who only pretends to love you. When you keep your love for yourself, you no longer allow anyone to take advantage of it. You set boundaries that preserve your energy, your heart, and your soul. Respect, boundaries, and values. The most important thing here is, did you maintain your boundaries? When you enter a relationship, it's essential to keep your boundaries intact. Your personal boundaries are what protect your self-respect, independence, and emotional well-being. If any relationship crosses those boundaries, it will harm you. This doesn't mean that you must stop loving or stop being friends, but you need to manage the relationship in a way that protects your self-worth and personal space. If someone is trying to use you, they will often cross your boundaries. If you don't define those boundaries clearly, they will suck the life out of you. But if you stay aware and protect your boundaries, you will regain your power. Only those relationships that align with your values will stay in your life. Here, values play a critical role. Every decision you make should be based on your values. If you give someone your time, it should be within the framework of your personal values. If they do not align with your values, then they have no place in your life. You cannot be in a situation or relationship where your values and self-worth are compromised. Internal strength and confidence. When you begin to adopt this Stoic mindset, you will find that unnecessary relationships fade away. You will feel that you no longer depend on someone for your happiness or emotional stability. You will realize that you are the only person who can reshape your life. The more you learn to understand yourself, the more confident you'll feel. When you define your strength and boundaries, you will never again be left powerless. You will face any situation with the knowledge that your self-worth and love are non-negotiable. The final word. When you begin to protect your love, your strength, and your boundaries, you will see yourself transform into someone unrecognizable to your past self. You will never lose yourself in another relationship again. You will understand that your love and your strength belong only to you. So, begin to build yourself as a true Stoic, someone who maintains respect for themselves, their boundaries, and their values. You may have suffered, but now, as you rediscover your inner power, you will no longer tolerate any relationship or situation that takes advantage of your kindness. You will know that your love and power are within you, and no one can take that from you. So when it's time for you to heal, don't look back. Prepare to love yourself first and never compromise your values. One day, you will look up and realize that those old relationships have faded away, and in their place, you stand with power, peace, and a love that no one can steal. You've learned that your power lies within you, in your love for yourself, your boundaries, and your values. No one has the right to drain you or take advantage of your heart. Remember, your strength is non-negotiable, and as you regain it, you'll never settle for less than you deserve. If this video has opened your eyes and inspired you to take control of your life, then don't wait. Hit that subscribe button. Join our community of empowered individuals who are learning to love themselves, set boundaries, and live life on their own terms. Don't miss out on the journey to becoming the best version of yourself. Subscribe now and stay tuned for more empowering content.